You and I are writers. We love to write, but the difference between being a writer and being an author is you finish your book. You get to the end of the chapter, you write the next chapter and the next one and the next one, and you go through a process, a cycle of moving from your ideas to structuring them, to putting them on screen, to putting them on paper in a way that works for you, and getting to the end of a finished manuscript. When that book is published and selling, you have moved from being a writer to being an author. If I write in my journal, I am a writer. When I see that book on various platforms and selling, then I know I've reached the stage of being an author. And wanting to talk about procrastination and the things that stop us writing, the things that get in the way of our desire and our dream to be a writer, to have those books in print and finished, or being able to see them selling on Kindle and digital platforms, all of that comes from mastering the ability to use your time wisely and to put blocks of writing, nice solid blocks of writing in your diary, so that you can literally almost take that work to the bank. You can think, okay, I'm going to create 500 words or 750 words or 1,000 words today, but I need to repeat that 100 times to get to the manuscript length or to the word count that I need for my book and for my project that I'm keen to finish. Because this is about finishing a book. I've just made some notes here on various index cards, and what I've said here is that we only finish books when we finish book. Because the truth is that any book that is sitting around on our shelves as a printed manuscript or on a hard drive, or we've got it on a USB stick that we still need to work on and finish it, if it's still in that state, we haven't finished. And if you want to be a published author, you need to finish your manuscripts. You need to take the writing work that you have done and the discipline in honing and polishing and making your craft better, and bringing that to a finished stage, to a point where you know that there is nothing more you can do. You've got the character right in the story. You've developed the line of the story from start to finish. You've got various character arcs, you've got developmental cycles, you've got movement in the story, you've got activity and excitement, and all those things are happening, and you know that there is nothing else you can do. At that point, you can say, I've finished my manuscript, it's done and dusted, I'm ready to go live, to print it, to publish it, buy some artwork, get some cover work commissioned, and to see that book marketed to your advanced reader group, and then to see people buying it and reading it and leaving positive reviews and testimony for what they've just read of your story. To finish your book, you need a plan. To beat procrastination, you need a real plan that says, I'm going to do this and this and this, and these are the actions that will take me through from the commencement of my idea to seeing the finished product available and ready for readers to buy and to enjoy. Use your physical diary or your digital diary that you have online and put things into that which will drive you to make the best use of your time and to consistently come to the desk, come to your laptop and put things in your diary. I used to put in my diary, I'm going to write this morning from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. I gave myself that 3-hour slot, but if I wrote 100 words, if I did a bit of research, if I got sidetracked by Google, that was all part of the 3 hours. Now I have a different focus. This is my self-created diary that I write up each month, and I populate all the days of the month, the activities, my core activities such as YouTube and investing and writing books and family activity. All these things get included within here, but on the daily writing process, I actually put in here that Monday, Wednesday and Friday I leave the house and I go and write in a coffee shop or in my library, or if I'm lucky, one of the bookshops that has a coffee shop where I can be comfortable and in my own environment and happy and productive. But alongside that, what I also have written down is 500 words, 500 words, 500 words. That means that if I just use those 3 time slots, I'm creating 1,500 words as a minimum for each week. That's aside from time for catching up on investment activity, creating another couple of YouTube videos, but I know that those 1,500 words or more will go to the development of the manuscript. If the story that you're writing is going to be 60,000 words and you're writing 1,500 words every week, you know that in 10 months' time you've got the 60,000 words that you need to be considered your full word count for your entire manuscript, and so that you have a 10-month plan. But the whole point is you have to be consistent, you have to be specific about the word count that you want to create, and you have to turn up and write. With those three things, procrastination is a thing of the past. If I grab a diary and I grab my pen and I say, today I'm going to write 500 or 750 words, and I do that, I put a little tick in the box and I say, okay, that's worked. I have to now repeat that process for the next writing day and the next writing day, so that the manuscript grows and the word count increases, and I can see a coherent story developing in front of me as I sit down to write on a regular basis. But that's sort of intellectual. That's saying, okay, I have a diary, I have a pen, I have this amount of free time each of these following days in this week. It might be 2 days, 4 days, 6 days, whatever. But that's an intellectual process. That's me saying, I'm going to use my time wisely and I'm going to create words. But that isn't emotional. That isn't so exciting that you have to do it. So you have to create, I think you have to create something that motivates you. A goal, a reward, a treat for yourself for creating maybe the first 5,000 words or 15,000 words, or reaching a 30,000 word count for your 60,000 word manuscript. Make it something that is real and meaningful. Earlier this year I did something called Camp NaNoWriMo, which in the month of July, by the way, go to the nanowrimo.org website and just enjoy the facilities there. At any time of the year you can motivate yourself and create for yourself a word count goal and just crack on and produce the words that are necessary for you to get to your manuscript. But I promised myself that for the end of NaNoWriMo I would give myself a treat. In fact, 2 weeks into that Camp NaNoWriMo process, I had a viewer ask me a question about what I thought of the Free-Write Traveller. Now, I haven't got a Free-Write Traveller. I have a MacBook Air and an iPad, and I write on pad and paper. But I also use this, which is called an Alpha Smart Neo. These are about $50 to $75 online. 50 quid in the UK is about what I paid for this one. But they're great because they are a distraction-free device. You have 8 chapters here, and each one of these can carry 10,000 words. So you've got 80,000 words capacity in this little device. It's fairly robust. It's not indestructible, but I would treat this with far less attention and care than I do my MacBook Air. If I were to take a train from Bradford to Leeds, or I want to go from Leeds to Scarborough for the day, this device goes with me and I create the words as I move, as I travel, and it's a brilliant little device. But the lady asked me about whether I thought the Free-Write Traveller was a good device. It's similar to this. It has a much higher memory capacity, but also the benefit of that is it stores whatever you write, the words that you create, it stores them internally, and as soon as you get to a Wi-Fi area, it uploads those words to the cloud setting so you can access them whenever you choose to. It's a compact device. It's half the size of this. It's basically like this, but it folds. The keyboard and the screen fold over one another, slips in a little case. And I thought to myself, okay, I think I know what I'm doing for Camp NaNoWriMo. It's only a 1-month process, 60,000 words from scratch. I will treat myself to something. And before I got round to buying the Free-Write Traveller, I saw this beautiful pen. It's a vintage Mont Blanc. It's called a Noblesse 1200. It's lovely. It's got the mountain logo at the top of the cap and also on the base of the barrel. It's a very slim pen. It's got a superb fine steel nib. And this one, I actually bought it from a pawnbroker shop during the first week after Camp NaNoWriMo. It comes with an ink converter that I take from an ink bottle. I use black ink in this one and blue ink in my Schaefer for writing. But this works really well, and for me that was a goal. I bought this one for about £40, maybe $50, which is a lot less than its actual worth as a pen that is approaching 40 plus years of age, but it's superb. It sits in a shirt pocket when I'm out and about, or it sits in my pencil case on my desk and is kept in good order. But that was my treat for finishing Camp NaNoWriMo. To reward myself for another book at the end of October, I'm going to buy the Free-Write Traveller. It's a $500 expense, which is an enormous expense given that my Alpha Smart Neo, which is more than 20 years old, is completely reliable, very tough, very portable. It's basically a large keyboard with an LED screen that can sit in my rucksack. It's a beautiful item. But with the Free-Write Traveller, I like the idea that I can upload, as soon as I get into a Wi-Fi zone, I can upload whatever I've written and it sits there, and I can transfer that to Google Docs, or I can have it as a Word document, or I can put it in Dropbox so that I can access it from wherever I want, on my phone, on my iPad, or on my MacBook Air. But I watched a bunch of different authors, including people like Jed Hearn, who I really respect for his books and his output. I looked at their reviews on YouTube of using the Free-Write Traveller, and I thought, okay, that's good. I'm going to treat myself to one of those. But that's a step up treat. It's a $500 treat. But I can justify it because I can use that again and again for multiple years. But it's an easy thing to take on a plane or a train, or to walk to the library with. The Traveller has a nice screen similar to this one, but in a device which folds up to occupy half the space. Find something that will motivate you. Find something that you can use as a reward, something that will bring you happiness for knowing that you've achieved a goal, but something that will also serve to be the thing that kicks procrastination to the curb, that pushes procrastination away out of your excuse zone, and allows you to say, I'm writing, I'm rewarding myself for what I'm doing, but I'm not just writing, I'm finishing the project that I have so that I can justify a useful treat or a useful writer's toolkit item, something that will help you continue to create more and more books. I hope this has helped. What I really encourage you to do is find ways to push procrastination away from your belief and your commitment to being a writer, to becoming an author, and use the answers that you find for yourself because they're very specific to you. Find something. It might be putting those 500 or 600 words as a specific target in your diary for 3 or 4 days a week when you're going to write. Find the answers that will push you forward and move you into a place where you are consistently, regularly creating new written output that you can be immensely proud of, and you can say to yourself, okay, I've done what I needed to do, whether it's over 3 months or 6 months or 8 months, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you made the commitment to finish your writing and move from being a writer to becoming an author, and you do that by getting rid of the idea that you are needing to procrastinate, by pushing procrastination away and writing today and tomorrow and the next day. Wherever you are in the world, whatever your writing project is, I wish you all the best. Happy writing.